Pregnant mothers in Georgia can now get tax credits for unborn children. It's part of the state's heartbeat abortion law, whose main purpose is to limit when women can get the procedure. But the law also recognizes an embryo as a life as soon as a heartbeat is detected. That can be as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy. Now, this is something that we have never seen before. So, of course, we have questions. Joining us now is our 9 News legal expert, Whitney Traylor. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you again.
So break down this new Georgia law.
Right. So the Georgia law, essentially, they had a statute that said life begins at the heartbeat, which is essentially 6 weeks. So after Roe, after the Dobbs decision and Roe was overturned, it went back to the states. And so the state said, yeah, we have this law that it's 6 weeks. Well, it went to the Court of Appeals and the 11th Circuit said, yes, 6 weeks is lawful. So now the Department of Revenue has said, well, if you have a child after July 20th, when that decision between July 20th and December, if you have an unborn child with a heartbeat, which is after 6 weeks is what they're saying, then you can claim that child as a dependent. So they're actually giving the unborn child personhood status.
Up to $3,000 you can get back.
$3,000, and that's just a child tax exemption. Lots of states have those, you know, for your children, for incentives and things like that. So here, though, the issue is the child is unborn, and they're saying they're not going to test you, but they're going to, you have to maintain your records in case they do want proof that you were actually pregnant.
I mean, there's a lot of gray area already here. For instance, what if the pregnancy is terminated before it comes to term? Miscarriage, stillbirth, and this is after you filed. What happens then? That's
a great question, and that's where we'll have the case law. But I suspect it would be the same as if a child actually passed away, in the sense that you got the exemption and then the child is no longer in existence. But that raises the real issue of personhood. When does a person start? And so previous to Dobbs, after with Roe and Casey, the courts generally said 15 to 16, 15 to, or 23 weeks, I'm sorry. And the Mississippi challenge was 15 weeks. So now they're saying, okay, well, when the heartbeat is detected, other states have actually said upon contraception. So, which raises an issue with embryos, for example. So when they're, you know, if an embryo is frozen and they don't use it and they discard it, that could be actually a crime because the person, it's an actual person.
I even read, you know, what if you have a surrogate who's now the dependent, who pays for that? There's a lot of gray area.
Yep, for sure.
Does this set a precedent?
Well, it does set a precedent in a way, because what's happening is now that Roe was overturned and it goes back to the states, these states are all doing a bunch of different things. And so some state legislatures are following others. And so this it's not binding precedent, meaning other states don't have to necessarily follow it. But when you have a body of law across the nation, other states are following each other. So this upholding it is definitely, you know, a case towards striking down abortion. In other words, you have all these states who had these trigger laws kick in, and you had, and so where it was, you know, it was illegal to have abortion after contraception, after 6 weeks, after 15 weeks. A lot of these are being upheld, and so now you're getting a body of law. Now, here in Colorado, for example, we have the other way where we've enshrined the protection of the abortion, and we're going to get case law here as well, because there'll be challenges in Colorado, I'm sure.
Completely opposite. All right, Whitney, well, there's a lot of gray area here, a lot that needs to be figured out, but appreciate you breaking it all down.
Sure thing. Good to be here.
Thank you.
All right.